So the Surface 2 is out. We checked it out. We loved it, and we love what Microsoft did. It's time to look at its bigger, more powerful sibling, the Surface Pro 2. This is the latest in the Pro line of Surfaces from Microsoft. It's got a new processor. It's got better performance. So let's see how well the Surface Pro 2 really handles.
So the Surface Pro 2 is powered by Intel Haswell processor, 4th generation. You can either get 8 GB of RAM on the device. You can see the Surface logo at the back. And of course, with the original Surface Pro, you just had the Windows logo at the back. That's just a differentiation because the designs are still the same. Your storage capacities, of course, range from 64 all the way to 512. You do have USB 3.0 with a volume rocker and a headphone jack on the left hand side, 5-megapixel camera at the back, and on the right hand side you do have an SD card slot to expand 64 gigabytes, power port, and as well as a display port there, so you can actually use a display port on this device. Power buttons on the very top, and we do have a 10.6-inch 1080p clear type display, so you can use it. It's a touchscreen. You can use it definitely on there, and of course you can get a keyboard attachment for this. Now in terms of weight, it weighs pretty much the same as the Surface Pro, but I can't complain about it. To me, it's not heavy. Some people said it was heavy. I understand they were looking for Microsoft to shave some of the weight down, which they couldn't. Now our version here is a 128 GB version, and you can see it's got the dual layered kickstand, so you can put in either direction you choose. Another key aspect of the Surface Pro 2 is the stylus. Now the stylus hasn't changed from the Surface Pro, but you do have a stylus that comes with your device, and it allows you to navigate and do things quite easily. For instance, just customizing your start screen, or also repin it or resizing and things like that. It's much easier actually than using your finger, which is actually quite interesting to see there. You also will note that the Surface Pro 2, as I mentioned, comes with 4 different configurations of storage. Now the 64 and 128 GB storage configurations come with 4 gigs of RAM, and the 256 and the 512 GB storage configurations come with 8 GB of RAM. Starting prices, of course, is at $899, and it may sound a little pricey, but the performance you get from it is very solid, especially in gaming. I was able to play Batman Arkham Origins. You can check out our gameplay video there for it, and I can tell you it performed very well, even though we had to cut down some of the graphics settings on the game, but you can actually play that with an Xbox controller, which is pretty cool. Now the Surface Pro 2 hasn't changed much in terms of design as it compares to its predecessor, but what you get here is a device that really has moved forward internally. It's has better performance, better battery life. I mean, I could get 7 to 8 hours of battery life on this, and I was able to take it around with me like I would carry a laptop, but something lighter, something more of a convergence device, something that I could use it for multiple purposes than just being a laptop. So that's very nice, and I like the fact that Microsoft didn't deter away from the design because they wanted to keep some of the accessories the same, so they could actually use it for both the Pro 2 and the original Pro version of the Surface. So that's nice to see that they actually did that there. Now in terms of your specs, you can quickly check them in your settings, and our configuration here is an i5 of course Haswell processor with 4 gigs of RAM, because we have the 128 GB version. But just watching this system, it's very fluid, it's very fast. There were no hiccups, and it just handled things very, very well. And I think Microsoft has done a good job here. You also have USB 3.0, so you can easily pop in a USB flash drive, or in my case, pop in my Xbox controller and play a game. So that's very important and very nice. So why don't we go ahead and round up this review.
So spending a lot of time with the Surface Pro 2, I can tell you that I really do like what Microsoft has done with the Pro 2. But before we even get there, let's just quickly run through some of the things that we didn't like so much with the device. The first one is the stylus. The stylus to me still is not useful. It's one of those things where to actually store it, and I understand the design elements of that, it's not conducive to store because you can lose it. I actually lost the stylus on my first Surface Pro. That, and also there are no applications that really take full functionality of the stylus. So hopefully Microsoft can make some applications that really take good use of the stylus on this device. That's probably what is, and also maybe the cameras really weren't improved from the back, or even the front-facing camera is not as good as the one on the Surface 2. Now, moving to the things we did like about it, and there's quite a lot. First of all, performance. Even though my Surface 2 here, Surface Pro 2 here, has a 4 gigs of RAM with, you know, I have 128 gigabytes of storage, this thing performed amicably well. I mean, I was able to game with it. You could see I played Batman Arkham Origins, and it just worked very, very well. I wouldn't say flawlessly, I must say flawlessly, but it worked very well because it was able to handle that. Yes, I did have to cut down some settings, but I was still able to take this on the go. Basically, take a tablet, take my Xbox controller, plug it in, and play a full-fledged game. I could enjoy all my Steam games on there, which was very, very cool. Now, I wished, of course, they had 8 gigs of RAM, all the way from 64-bit to 64 gigabyte version to the 512, but I understand, you know, pricing and things like that, issues on there. Now, the other thing is also the battery life. Battery life is pretty good on this device. I got about 7 to 8 hours with the Surface Pro 2. It was quite easy to actually game and continue to use this device without any issues. So it was pretty cool that I had that option there, and just using this, the battery life was very, very good. I mean, you will be impressed at the fact that you can surf the web, you type some documents, do some actually intense work on here, and still have a lot of juice left. So that's something that was pretty cool. And the charge time is between 2 to 4 hours, so depending on where your battery life is, and it doesn't take too long to actually charge the device. So that's also something that is very nice with this here. The expandable storage is great. You can expand that. You've also got USB 3.0, which has been standard from the first Surface Pro. So that really just adds more to it. Now you've got 200 gigabytes of SkyDrive, which is very, very good for 2 years, and also you do have Skype Wi-Fi calling and Skype Wi-Fi used for a year free. So that's something that's very nice and just very cool. I love the fact that they've added all these additives. Starting price is $899 for the Surface Pro 2. I think this is a solid laptop replacement. Now, if you don't want to have your laptop with you, but you want something light and portable, you see I'm holding this with one hand. Some people complain it's heavy. It's really not heavy, because this is less of a tablet and more of a productivity tablet. I mean, it's kind of fudging those thin lines between the Ultrabook and the tablet, but you can do so much more with this, and that is why I love this device. And this is something that I know I can take with me to edit videos on the go. I can plug in my mouse and just use it, and I think this is pretty solid. So I love it. I like it for those reasons, and I think if you're looking for something like that, you will too. You know, that's pretty much it. You know, hopefully in the future they do trim down the size. Yes, it's still thick. Yes, it's, you know, it should have at least dropped some pounds in weight. It still weighs as the original, but I'm hoping that by the next iteration of the Surface Pro 3, that we do have something, you know, thinner. Even though it may keep the same design, but something thinner. I know they also wanted to keep the design because of the docking stations that would be compatible. So overall, I love the Surface Pro 2. I think this is my tablet of choice. Yes, for me, because I get 7 hours and I can game, I can edit videos, because I have to edit your videos, guys, and I can do all the work I need to do on the go with this. So if you have any questions or any comments, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all Bored at Work with 2 O's. So and also, if you're looking for any of our wallpapers that you saw in this video, check out our Pinterest page at Bored at Work on Pinterest. The anime and comic books section, you'll find our wallpapers there. So this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.